One. Hey everybody, welcome to Kingdom of Honor. I'm your host, Sandman Shane Sabuni, along with the Honorable Jeff,
Kevin.
and
Yep.
we were sitting here debating, like, well, why the hell can we not watch? Can we not find any results from Revolution because we weren't going to watch it? And it turns out they're doing their first ever Sunday pay-per-view tonight for AEW, which is just bizarre as hell.
Yeah, I was looking all over for results and I couldn't find anything, and it was just weird because you would think a show of that magnitude when there's going to be a surprise guest, a surprise debut. And Big Show said there was going to be a Hall of Fame worthy person debuting.
Yeah, he did say that, and I'm just like blown away. Like, we had decided not to get it anyway, but it's just weird that it's on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's really weird because I'm not, they've never done Sunday. It's always been Saturday for them.
Right, right, which is why it's so weird. I guess it gives me time to change my mind now. If I decide I want to buy it.
I don't know. Looking at the card though, I mean, I do have interest in the Moxley Omega match. I kind of want to watch the Page Matt Hardy match. The rest of it, I don't know. Man, I mean, the Bucks against MJF and Jericho. Could we finally get the implosion that we're looking for?
Yeah, I kind of doubt it. I don't know. Um, but I wanted to start someplace else this week. That just kind of was kind of
Oh,
top of mind because we had just talked about it. But
right.
um, so last year we had the New Japan Cup, and they came back, and we there was a tremendous match between El Desperado and Ishii.
Mm,
And then shortly after that, El Desperado was challenging. I think it might have even been at Dominion. El Desperado was challenging Shingo for the junior heavyweight champion or for the never openweight championship. And you were like, "Oh my God, why is he defending against a junior heavyweight? He used to be a junior heavyweight. He's been defending against heavyweights." And I said, "But it's Desperado." And you said, "So what?" And I said, "Well, Desperado's great." And you're like, "Nah, he's not that good." And then and then
after
and then,
that
and then I
match,
said and then I said, "Did you watch Ishii versus Desperado?" You're like, "No, I didn't. I couldn't watch all the New Japan Cup matches, so I skipped that." I said, "Well, go back and watch it." You're like, "Nah, maybe if I get time." And then after we saw Shingo take on Desperado, you were like, "Okay, you were right. Desperado's pretty damn good."
yeah,
Um,
I was really
and
impressed with him. Really
and
impressed.
and then in the finals of the Best of the Super Juniors, he had that tremendous match that if it had not been for that tag match between the Bucks and Omega and Page at Revolution last year, would have been my match of the year for 2020.
Right.
Um, and now we're finally seeing, and I had said kind of, this is the year we need to see Desperado step out and become junior heavyweight champion. And I think he still would have done it this year, but the opening, his door kind of got opened early for him by Hiromu Takahashi's injury,
Hmm.
and been out for 6 months, and then what an incredible 8 days this guy had, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
He and Kanemaru win the junior heavyweight tag titles on February 25th. February 28th, he wins a three-way match, pinning your boy, um, El Phantasmo, to walk away with the junior heavyweight champion. And then he and Kota Ibushi have a 5-star classic at the anniversary show.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable. And I just got done watching that one from the anniversary show. I'm blown away with how good him and Taichi were two guys that were always boring to me. I never got in their stuff, but then they got a run. Like Taichi with that Never title, all of a sudden now I enjoy his matches. And with Desperado, same thing. I was never really into him, but after his run last year and now after that match against Kota, I'm just blown away at how talented that guy is.
Yeah, I think ever since he came back from that injury that happened like the middle of 2019, he's just been on fire in his tag matches and his singles performances. He's just like you said. I mean, Kanemaru and Desperado's team, and even before that, Taichi and Desperado's team, we always hand waved them. Those junior heavyweight tag matches, and now, I every chance I get to watch Desperado in a singles match or a tag match, I'm right there for it, man. I'm very very happy to see the success that guy's gotten, and his hard work is paying off.
What now I knew that Hiromu had vacated the title, but what was the reason? I know it's injury.
Yeah, I'm not sure what injury it is. I know Kevin Kelly said he was going to be out for 6 months though.
That guy's snake bit. He really is.
I know, and that also made me think like, can they really keep, trying to make him the centerpiece of the division when he's gotten these two major injuries in the last couple of years? You know, because he got hurt. No, I would say it was like what, fall of 2018, right? And
Yeah.
then then he was out for like over a year,
Yeah, it was like 400 days.
and then he comes back and COVID happens, and then he gets the title back from Ishimori and he gets injured. So it's just like, what the hell?
He tore his
Oh,
left pectoral muscle on February 19th
wow.
in a tag match against with Shingo against Honma and Kota.
Wow. So really imagine that he really shouldn't even have been in,
Right.
really. Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, that's his injury, but it just sucks. He's so snake bit. It's kind of, it reminds me a lot of Ken Kennedy. Every time he was set for a major push, he got injured or then got suspended for the performance, the PED use, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good comparison right there. Yeah, I don't know because Takahashi had talked about main eventing the Tokyo Dome as a junior heavyweight champion.
Hmm.
A lot of people think that he's got he and myself included think that he could be destined for even higher than the junior heavyweight championship.
Yeah, I mean, and if had it not been for Will Ospreay being Will Ospreay, Hiromu was probably my second. I think when we did our thing, wasn't he my second wrestler of the year?
I think so. Yeah.
Like right behind Will Ospreay, because Ospreay has just been on fire for 2 years, but Hiromu was right behind him.
Yeah, and I think you had Eddie Edwards right up there too, or maybe it was Roderick Strong, one of the two.
It
So
might, yeah, but it was. I think it was Roderick Strong because he's did some great stuff in NXT too, and it wasn't just the matches that we saw from Ring of Honor. Yeah, and Eddie
right.
Edwards was definitely up there too because he had his Impact stuff. So yeah, but it's just I feel bad. He is just so snake bit.
Yeah, it sucks for Hiromu, no question. I would much rather have seen another fantastic match between Desperado and Takahashi for Desperado to take that championship, like maybe at Dominion or later down the line. But I'm still happy for for this week that this guy got to have, you know.
Yeah,
What a so awesome, so awesome.
he had a hell of a week. He's just he is now. I'm right there with you. He's just insanely good, just insanely good.
Yeah, I enjoy everything that guy does in the ring. Fantastic. Um, what about the other Castle Attack? What about the other stuff happening at Castle Attack? Anything that really blew your mind?
That Jay White Ishii match, that
Yeah, that
was
was super good.
phenomenal. That was
Yeah.
that was just phenomenal. And El Phantasmo just continues to be a mini Jay White. So I like that too. I mean, he
You
is
think so?
yeah,
I I don't know. Jay White, appeals to me. El Phantasmo just he's. I mean, I know he's the heel, and I know I'm supposed to feel this way, but I can't stand that guy. I
that's
cannot stand him.
like I think he is one of the best at working the crowds right behind Jay White. I think he's really talented. And I'm a little disappointed that Kodak kept both titles. I really wanted those to split.
Well, instead they're being consolidated.
Yeah. So I
But
re
I mean, do they really need? I mean, they have too many titles as it is, though. Really. I
no,
mean, so it makes sense to have they've got the U.S. title for the U.S. division. To have the never and Tanahashi is trying to change the way the never open weight title is portrayed and perceived. So, I think eventually the never title will kind of be that mid card championship.
yeah, it's I just wish the Never title would have been what the Never title should be. It really isn't what it used to be.
No, it's not, and I don't think it's going to be anymore. I think the last we saw of that was Shingo versus Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, probably. Which is sad.
It is sad. I mean, and you're there's a big division about the fans about should there be a world heavyweight champion or should there still be the heavyweight championship and the intercontinental championship, and then never of course you and I both love the Never style, so I wish that was the case that it was staying the way that it is, but I think Tanahashi winning the championship was a signal to us that that wasn't going to be the case anymore.
That yeah, that now it's going to become the mid card, and then especially with Kota retaining, and he basically said he's going to consolidate the two.
Right. They actually announced, they actually had mentioned during the Desperado versus Kota match, or right before it started, that the winner of that match would be the first ever world champion. That after that match, after Naito did not wrest the white title away from Ibushi, those titles were going to be consolidated.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It sucks because getting rid of that is not only, getting rid of that mid card champion where a lot, it's like the Intercontinental Championship is, the same as it was in WWE for years. It was the workman's belt that got people to that next level. And then
Right.
so we're getting rid of that, and then we're also getting rid of the never style. So I don't know. It's just sad, sad all around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on the plus side, we had Moxley and Kenta had that great match at NJPW on New Japan Strong that was in the Never style, in though it was for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
You know, did you get a chance to watch
I
that one?
haven't, no, I haven't watched that yet.
No,
It's on my
no.
list.
Again, yeah,
I have
it
so
was
many.
pretty,
There was,
it was pretty good. So
and then with us taking last week off, we had all that stuff going on. So it's just been a crazy couple weeks trying to keep up with everything.
well, like you said, and like you said, I mean, White versus Ishii was really good. Did you? I know you're going to kind of pick and choose what you watched. Did you watch the strap match between?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really good too. I
I
mean,
was,
I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of that match.
it was, it wasn't the Toru Yano that we're so used to.
No,
I mean, he did still have a couple of his comedy moments, but to see him like that, and it was fun listening to the announcers talk about when he was with GBH, what an asshole he was, and now they're starting to see that side of him in this match too.
right.
So it was not Toru Yano that I'm used to, and I was happy to see it go that way and not be the comedy matches that we've seen out of him. I mean, the only the only match I think I ever enjoyed of his was during was it the G1 last year? Him and Hiromu,
The New Japan Cup.
is it where he
Yeah,
trapped him in the elevator to get the win?
right.
I mean, that was probably the only Toru Yano match I ever enjoyed up until this one. This was a very, very good match. This is the kind of Toro I want to see.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I really would like to see someone, you know, take that. I'd like to feel a sense of drama about that. I mean, if that title's going to exist, we can debate whether it should exist or not. But if it's going to exist, then I would like there to be some sense of drama about, whether Yano's going to always hold it. And it feels, and I didn't feel Chase was going to be the guy to take it from him. But this match, it was actually very dramatic, and they told a really good story in it, and it was a lot of fun.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
I,
I agree. I agree. But yeah, both the Castle Attack shows were good. I ended up watching both of them, and I enjoyed both of them. I thought they were both really, really good.
yeah, they were good shows. I also, they also liked how the main event of night two. We talked about how Desperado had won the junior heavyweight championship in the semi main that night, which was a really good match also, and I really liked. I did like Desperado, kind of flaunting that he could do what he wanted to with the mask because it was a triple threat, and hitting that cradle pile driver was a nice comeback for Desperado to come back and pin that guy for to win the vacant championship. But I also really appreciated how Kota and Naito toned it down in their main event. I mean, it was still a great match between the two of them, like we've been used to over the years. but they weren't doing the crazy shit to each other.
Yeah,
They
and that was
made us feel like they might kill each other.
a really because I remember saying after the last match last year, I don't ever want those two to wrestle again because they kept stepping it up worse and worse and worse every match.
Right.
So it was nice to see them kind of go backwards a little bit more towards the not trying to kill each other.
Right. I mean, I don't remember any spots on the floor in this one at all,
I don't either.
and it was just, it was the. I mean, the closest they came was the teasing of the top rope poison Rana, but they never actually even did that. So I mean, it was really like a safe match which you don't expect from these two, and a lot of mat wrestling, a lot
Yeah,
of
it was,
submission wrestling. It was a different style than what we're used to from this one, but I think it really helped the match that it was like that style.
and it was nice because it kind of killed some of the other things that I've hated about Coda, especially over the last couple of years. That his whole dark side thing, that wasn't really a part of this match.
No, it wasn't a part of that this match or the match against Desperado, either one.
Yeah, so it's maybe we're finally getting rid of that. Um, I don't know. I think Coda had a pretty good week too. He had some decent matches. I mean, his match against Naito wasn't the five-star classic that we're used to out of those two, but it was nice to see it an actual wrestling match and not just some crazy spot fest.
Completely agreed. Absolutely. And I thought Great O'Connor had a great week also.
Yeah,
Um,
his match against Tanahashi was a lot better than I expected it to be.
did you also watch the match against Naito though too?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so he actually defeated Naito.
Did he?
Yeah, they had a first on the anniversary show. They had a first round match in the New Japan Cup, and he had Naito in a leg submission hold, and Naito couldn't escape and wouldn't give up. So Red Shoes called for Red Shoes stopped the match
God,
and awarded it to Great O'Con.
is Naito just in his golden years, so he's just putting people over now, or what's going on?
Well, if you think about it, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for Naito to have lost to Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom and then to have lost to him at Castle Attack and then be the next challenger for him at Sakura Genesis.
Yeah.
So it made sense for him to kind of go out early and to put somebody younger over while he was going out.
It's just weird because he had a bad week.
Yeah,
He had a really bad week.
he did. Yeah, that's okay. He'll come back.
Hopefully, because he's another guy that I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, and I really like the style that he's developed ever since G1 last year too.
Well, what's next for Jay White, after his definitive win against Ishii?
Well, he's going to be in the G1 also. I'm not sure he was facing in the G1.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
they were
oh,
talking.
I mean not the G1. I mean the New Japan Cup. And actually another match in the New Japan Cup after Evo got a first round bye for winning last year's New Japan Cup, and Tanahashi got a first round bye for being the never openweight champion. Um, it normally would have gone to the G1 Climax winner, but since the G1 Climax winner is the current champion,
Right.
it went to the mid card title holder in Tanahashi. But so and then the other New Japan Cup match that was on Revolution was Satoshi Kojima against Jeff Cobb, and since Cobb won that match, then we've got Evil versus Jeff Cobb in the next round of the New Japan Cup.
Okay. It should be fun.
See, Jay White, New Japan. I want to be careful here because I know some matches have already happened, but they're only in Japanese right now. So, um,
Was what was his thing that he said about the G1? It's going to be the J1 or something like that.
it was the new Japan Cup.
Oh yeah, the new Japan Cup. That's right.
Looking for the brackets here. Okay, so Yano versus Bad Luck Fale, Goto versus Taichi, Okada versus Takagi. That's right. Okada versus Shingo is in the first round also, which is amazing.
Hmm.
Honma versus Suzuki, Juice versus Kenta, Tenzan versus Osprey, which is to be expected after that tag match.
Right.
Gabriel Kidd versus Zack Sabre Jr., Eugene versus Yota Tsuji, Ishii versus Sanada, White's against Toa Hanare,
Huh.
and then David Finlay versus Chase Owens, and Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking at. Just the first round match doesn't like actually show a bracket or anything,
Right.
so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to all shake out.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at this, I mean, I think like the most likely guys to face off against, I mean, it's still got to be like Osprey, Okada, and White are the favorites, right?
I would think so. And maybe Osprey a little more than everyone else because he's due for that push, and I feel like ever since the Empire took over or became a faction, they just really haven't been anything dominant like they should be.
I agree.
So I mean, my favorite is Osprey because I think he deserves a push after the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was really weird to see Tenzan and Kojima. Well, first of all, Tenzan, just used the Mongolian chops anyway, when he was supposed to be banned from using them,
Right.
and had no consequences whatsoever, and even get into the Japan Cup as a result of it. But then also to see that team, beat the United Empire, I was shocked by. So
Well, it's funny that because the only person that's banned from using that is him. Everybody else is, oh, it's okay for them to use the Mongolian chops.
right, but then he uses them anyway, and the referee doesn't do anything about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So stupid. I don't understand that at all.
And the only real other thing that I want to talk about is Adam Cole. He is just on fire since his
Wait,
heel
wait,
turn.
wait, wait, wait. You want to talk about Adam Cole? Why aren't we talking about Roderick Strong?
Well, we're going to get to Roddy as a part of that. Did you
Because
watch?
he's the innocent party in all of this.
Yeah, but that sell job by Adam Cole, um, just right before he crotched him and then kicked him in the face, that was just a thing of beauty to watch.
So you actually believe Adam Cole?
No, I didn't, but
Okay.
it was just that good. He was just that good of an actor, and to suck Roddy in like that, just to kick him in the face was I thought that was just brilliant.
Yeah, it was I guess it was, but then him calling him stupid after the end of it was kind of like, yeah, he was stupid. I
Right,
agree.
right.
Yeah, I mean Cole is back to being the scumbag that he should be all the time. I
Yep.
mean he does not work as a babyface at all.
No, he never did. But he is I'm enjoying this new run with him. I really am.
Yeah, and um, everything going on with Balor and the entire stable of Undisputed Era has just been fantastic over the last, I don't know, what is it, 6 months now,
Yeah,
something like
about
that.
that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of all the pieces just kind of have are like moving all the time with that stuff going on, and Cole being refusing to respond to O'Reilly and then attacking him from behind, at and then putting him out of action, and then the next week coming out and apologizing and suckering Roddy in, and then this week this week we have right before he suckered Roddy in, Roddy had kind of um, got in the middle and thrown Balor into the barricade,
Right.
and so that kind of got paid off this past week on NXT, where Balor interrupted Roddy calling out Cole, and they got into an altercation, and Balor was like,
You still there?
"Yeah, I'm here. Can you not
Oh,
hear me?"
Oh yeah, it just cut out. Last word you said just cut out.
Yeah, and then Balor comes out and says, "I know how to get Cole to come out here next week. Balor versus Cole for the NXT Championship." And then we get the main event of that show. We get a outstanding match again between Roddy and Finn Balor. So, they're really on a roll with NXT right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean they've been I, I've been enjoying them probably more than anything else. Like I've actually started watching the NXT again because of it. And now with them moving to Tuesday nights, that's gonna be that's gonna be nice because now there's, wrestling on pretty much every night of the week.
Is that just a rumor, or has that actually been officially announced? No,
No, that's official.
it is official. Okay.
Next week is their blow off show on Wednesday nights, and then they move to Tuesday nights the week after.
Ah, okay.
I knew it was coming because USA signed a deal with the NHL, and Wednesday night's usually hockey night in the US.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that a couple months ago, didn't you?
Yeah, so I knew it was coming. I just was kind of surprised it's happening this quick, but yeah, having two title matches next week and everything, and then moving to that's going to be the end of their little run.
Yeah, they're having two title matches next week, but I think they're also making a big announcement that there's going to be an NXT Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah,
So
what did
is
William Regal say? It was like a game-altering announcement.
yeah, that's what he said, and I'm pretty sure it's that there's going to be a new Women's Tag Team Championship.
I hope not. I hope it's something better.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, there's been a rumor that NXT is going to add a new title. Uh, Regal's making this big announcement, and then also we saw what happened with Adam Pearce costing, well, quote unquote, costing Dakota Kai and Rochelle Gonzalez the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. So it all kind of and then they've been pushing women's wrestling for the last couple of months on that brand. So just it all seems like that's the direction that they're headed for this announcement to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I
Yes.
do want to say a little bit about the logic hole in Adam Pierce, quote unquote, like I said, quote unquote, costing um, Dakota Kai and Rochelle, was it Renee Gonzalez or Rochelle
Rachel.
Gonzalez?
Uh,
Rochelle
Rachel.
Gonzalez, right, whatever. Gonzalez, the women's tag team championships. Um, Gonzalez had knocked herself out along with knocking out Nia Jax.
Mhm.
So regardless of what was going on in the ring, that referee could have got she really should have been counted out anyway. So
Right.
so either way, Nia Jax and my girl Shayna Baszler should have retained their tag team championships.
Right. Yeah. It seemed like a really overbooked finish to not go anywhere. And his whole reasoning is to keep the belts on the main roster, but I'm confused about it because that was kind of a heel move by Adam Pearce, and he's not really a heel. It was just, I don't know. I felt like it was a little overbooked.
Yeah, maybe it should have been done by somebody else.
Yeah, it should have been, even if it had been Triple H or, well, no, Triple H NXT is his baby, but um, somebody else that I don't think it should have been done by him, first of all, and like you said, the logic, the loophole, uh, logic that wise, and it seemed like it was a clusterfuck, basically.
Yeah, it was absolutely. And also, referees, the other, I guess the other part with that is that, the wrong person gets pinned or taps out all the time. So
Hmm.
tag matches. So
Right.
it was kind of silly.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. I hope it's something better the than them just announcing new titles. Because you can't call something game changing and then have it be, oh, hey, we're going to bring in a woman's title. That's not game changing because that's something that's already done on the main roster. So it's expected.
So what do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I don't know.
What would be a game changing announcement to you?
Something else.
That's not an answer.
Something that doesn't currently exist.
Okay.
I mean, just saying, oh, hey, we're going to have women's titles. Is that really game changing? I mean, if the main roster didn't already do it, then yeah.
All right. Women's 6-man titles.
Okay, now that would be six man titles in general would be game changing. I would love to see a trios championship.
I was just messing around.
I know, but that is something I would love to see. The only people that do it is New Japan. Oh, and I guess
And
Ring of
and,
Honor.
and Ring of Honor, yeah. And every Mexican promotion out there.
Well, yeah, but we don't see the Mexican promotions.
We don't see Mexicans.
We see Mexicans, just not the
Start
promotions.
start seeing Mexicans, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did another thing I saw about Adam Cole this week was that his dream match is to wrestle against Shawn Michaels. I'm like, who'd want to see that? Seriously.
at this stage of Shawn Michaels' life,
Well, it's like Shawn Michaels versus C version Shawn Michaels. Why would anyone want to watch that?
right? Well,
I just don't get it.
I wouldn't mind watching it maybe back in 2004 when Shawn was actually still a wrestler.
Well, even then, wouldn't it just be the same thing as like Undertaker versus fake Undertaker?
Yeah, kind of, because they do have a very similar move set
And look, you know,
and look. Yeah,
I mean, I find it hard to believe that if Shawn Michaels didn't exist, Adam Cole would exist. You know,
you're not wrong there, because he has patterned himself after Shawn.
yeah. I mean, he's like bargain basement Shawn Michaels to me. That's kind of how I've always felt about him. So,
Ugh.
all right.
Wow, am I
Um,
tired today? Holy crap.
yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about Dynamite at all?
And we can. I didn't watch it this week
I just
because I
meant
had so
like in
much other
general.
stuff. I heard that it had some pretty decent moments. Um, I don't. What are your thoughts on that whole Big Show announcement? Who do you think it could be?
Oh, okay. So first of all, let's talk about that. Um, remember when they came out like shortly after they made their AEW announcement and they said, "Yeah, we're not going to sign every big name WWE guy that comes down the pike." And then they signed John Moxley, and they signed Matt Hardy, and then they signed Brody Lee, and then they signed um, the now I just totally lost their Dash and Dawson,
Yeah,
whatever their
FTR,
FTR, and then they signed
Miro.
Sting, and now they're signing big. Now they're signing, and then they signed Miro, and then they signed Big White or Paul. Now they signed Paul fucking White. Really?
They signed him to. He's mainly going to be an announcer on their new show, but I've listened to Paul White talk. I don't know that I want to listen to him for a full hour.
I don't care if they sent him. I didn't. I didn't. I wasn't aware that they sent him mainly as an announcer. But do we really need Paul White in AEW in any capacity?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he still has to bring to the table. I just really don't. But
And then
I,
they've wasted Miro since they signed him. And I was excited about that signing, but they completely wasted him as far as I'm concerned.
yep, I agree.
And FTR has been on the back burner now for months. I just really and Sting to me was a stupid signing also. So
Yeah, the Sting
I
one,
did to me, I mean, all these signings that they're doing, Brody Lee was exciting, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate what happened to him.
right?
The illness that took him and all that stuff. But Matt Hardy has done nothing but hold down talent since he came in. You
True,
know, I
very
just
true.
I really I really feel like the signings they made in from WWE are a betrayal of what this organization was supposed to be about.
Well, and the thing that pisses me off about Matt Hardy is remember the show we did about his retirement? He flat out retired, then he comes back to work for AEW.
Yeah,
I mean, which was fine. He had some good moments, but his feud with Sammy Guevara was awful. Did nothing but hurt Sammy. And now his whatever he's doing a private party. It's just yeah, he has held down talent quite a bit. Um, and I agree with you about Miro being really not pushed well. But at that point, like right now, they're using their YouTube channels to create new stars, which kind of is mind-boggling to me why you would not have the new stars on the show that's actually being watched on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's just because you and I are, older than the YouTube generation, but I have no time for a wrestling program on YouTube. I mean, we did with MLW, obviously,
We
but
did. I
but
mean, I
but
haven't watched
but
MLW in years.
right, but why would we devote time to an AEW Dark show or to be in the Elite instead of watching the Dynamite program that's on national television?
Well, yeah, and now their new show is supposed to be an internet one too. I think they said it's going to be on Thursdays.
Yeah, that's also called AEW Dark, isn't it? Dark something?
I don't remember what it's called. Let me see here. And Cody announced that there's going to be a new actual TV show, and Jericho's going to be one of the commentators.
Yay.
He's going to be one of the permanent for the new second AEW show on TNT. Okay, Dark Elevation will be on Monday at 7 p.m. Uh, that's the new one.
Okay.
That's the one that Paul White's going to be doing the commentary for. So they're moving that Dark Elevation on Mondays at 7. Dark is on what, Tuesdays at 7, and then Dynamite is on Wednesdays.
Right.
And then it says here, there's a what it looks like somebody asked Tony Khan about a second AEW show on TNT, and Tony Khan came back and said that is definitely happening in 2021. We'll have more info on tonight on Dynamite. So
Yeah, I mean you're right about Wade being signed as a commentator for that Dark Elevation show, but he's also signed as a wrestler at the same
yeah,
time.
he's signed as an in-ring performer too,
Yeah.
which I mean he could probably have one-off matches. I can't really see him being involved in any major storylines or major matches. But then again, I said the same thing about Sting. But also, what was Sting's purpose? The thing that bugs me about Sting is that dude's 64 years old. You know, he's not a young guy. It's just weird to see him taking bumps and stuff like that at that age.
Yeah, especially with him be supposedly being retired after his match against
Seth
Seth
Rollins.
Rollins because of the his back injury. It's I don't get it. I don't and he's on the and then he's in this prominent street fight on tonight's Revolution show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope this is a cinematic one, so it's not just him taking bump after bump. I'm just worried about Sting taking bumps at his age and after that severe back injury. I mean, he broke his back because of that buckle bomb.
Right. Yeah. Stupid. I don't know. I mean, I guess to me, I mean, I didn't really want to see Sting and the Giant in AEW.
Oh, he's 61. Sorry, not 64. He's
I
61
don't
years
care.
old.
I don't care.
But still, that's no, that's
And I don't care that Paul White's only 49. Quote unquote only 49. I mean, the point is, they were supposed to be an organization of youth and opportunity, and we still and to me we have not really seen that yet.
right. No, we haven't. I mean, with the exception of, um, uh, I wonder doesn't Big Show have? Oh no, that's a Netflix exclusive show that he was doing.
Oh, the Big Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the uh, shit, what was I saying? Thinking, um, I totally lost it. Oh, Darby Allin is really the only homegrown young talent that's become a star. I mean, they stopped and started with Jungle Boy. They kind of stopped and started with Orange Cassidy. Um, I don't know what the hell happened to Scorpio Sky. He's has he been on Dynamite in the last year and a half?
He actually was injured. He was on Dynamite this past week in a commentary role,
Because he's got that
and
match tonight.
because he's got that match tonight in that ladder match, and he actually was sounding very heelish when he was on commentary.
Hmm.
He was like, yeah, I mean, he was like, I'm not saying that the guys in this match aren't good, but they're not me. And there's I'm the one that's gonna when Excalibur said something like, we'll have to see, we have 7 guys competing for this champion, for this ladder match. He's like, yeah, but I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be winning the match, stuff like that. I mean, he came across as having a really big ego, you
Hmm.
know.
Interesting, because that's one thing I said a while back that if they want to make Scorpio Sky a star, they have to break him from SCU and have him go off on his own and a possible heel turn.
Yep, you absolutely did say that.
So, because I think he'll shine better as a heel and definitely separate from SCU.
Yeah, so no, those are the maybe the operation, the direction they're going.
Good.
So
That's actually good.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll see how far how far they push it, or if that's even or if I was even like reading tea leaves correctly there.
And the one thing I will say about AEW is they do a lot of stop and start stuff. They with storylines and things like that. I mean, some of them definitely are a slow burn, like this MJF angle with the inner circle. But there's been so many other ones that they just kind of just went away from.
The MJF thing is a slow burn. Is that what you said?
It has been. It's burned long enough. I think I'm over it,
I thought the fire had gone out like weeks ago.
but it's still there's still something in the works though. I,
I know that. I'm just saying I don't think it's actually burning anymore.
oh, okay. It's just smoldering at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't, I don't know. It's maybe it's just that I felt like there was so much promise with this inner circle stable, and I feel like it's never hit that level.
well, it never hit the level because some of the signings that came in never got a shot to shine. I mean,
I know that.
Sammy was a comedy guy for a while, and he was supposed to be that new up and comer that was going to be under Jericho's wing, and then fucking Santana and Ortiz. That's just an embarrassment what's happened with them.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I really don't understand, what the point of even having that stable was when they really have not even seemed like a stable ever. I mean, maybe like when they first formed and they were headed towards that blood and guts match,
Blow off
but
with the elite.
but yeah, I mean, then they had that, and then they had that stadium match, and it really felt like that kind of is where the inner circle peaked, was that match.
Yeah,
You know?
and I mean maybe that's maybe that'll be kind of a way to maybe MJF them turning on. What I would like to see happen is Sammy Guevara come in, and attack Jericho and have the whole inner circle turn on Jericho, get him to his announcing role, and then maybe the inner circle led by MJF.
Yeah, but that would only matter if they actually did something with him after that. I mean, I mean, we had. I remember us having this debate, like, I don't even know how long ago now, but we were talking about how, like, every week it was like kind of like the NWO, where Inner Circle would beat down people, and they would be like dominant at the end of the show,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But that never really translated into wrestling success. I mean, Jericho was the world champion, but none of the other guys have even sniffed championship opportunities, really. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, didn't Santana and Ortiz get their first title shot like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
exactly. Yeah,
After being in the company for 2 years, you wouldn't have thought that would have taken that long.
and I think Swagger had, and oh, wait, Swagger did have a World Heavyweight Championship match against um,
Oh
Moxley
yeah,
in that empty arena match.
yeah,
But
the
that's
one that was
that's
the one that was being touted as going to be the greatest stadium match of all time or whatever.
greatest empty arena match of all time. Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't really live up to that.
no.
But uh, yeah, I mean, and Sammy just really never went anywhere. I mean, he had that feud with Hardy, and he was kind of a comedy guy there for a while. Um, and it's sad because he's so talented.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know. I have a hard time. That's what one of the things that are contributing to me having a hard time shelling out $50 for this show is I feel like I've given them a lot of support, and I feel like and a lot of times to me Dynamite feels directionless.
It's I mean, they came in and said they were going to change the world, and they did in a way by offering pay-per-view quality matches on free TV every week. But outside of that, they're still relying on the same WWE formula with bringing in stars that were built somewhere else, and um, the way that the storylines run, and just things like that.
Yeah, and they're probably 6 hours away from, well, where they're hours away at some, within a few hours now at least, or within 12 hours. So I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, but tonight they're probably going to go by with the old WWE trope of putting the tag titles on two single stars that they compiled together for no reason. So
Right. No, I don't. I don't think that's going to happen. I just I don't believe that Jericho comes out of this unscathed. I just
yeah, but if they win the titles, then it sets up like more friction between the group, like of PNP, like we're in the top, we're like the number three contenders, so we should get a shot at those titles, that kind of thing.
right. Yeah, and I mean their like ranking system never makes any sense. Um, yeah, it would have been good if they didn't have little mini tournaments and Royal Rumbles between the top five all the time, and then the person in fifth place, they're the ones that get the title shot.
Oh, you mean that Pac being the number two ranked contender means that he should not be in the opening tag team battle royal match?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I really thought he should be. I thought it made a lot of sense that that Pac is in that match, and um, it's the other member of his stable, Pentagon, that's in the ladder match for
Right.
the TNT Championship.
Yeah. Makes no sense. None at all. Yeah, I mean, AEW does have its issues. Its main issues are with consistency, um, and the fact that I mean, I will give them credit. Seeing Kenny Omega every week is amazing. Not having him over in Japan, having him in the States, and we can watch him every week. Um, but the rest of it, just too much Cody, way too much Cody. Um, the storylines just kind of stop and start. They stop and start pushes. Um, you've got people on this roster that deserve a chance to be seen, but they're not being seen because they're being buried behind, like you said, WWE reruns.
I also feel like the guy who's had the best singles matches in AEW so far is not even considered to be a singles star for them.
Who's that?
Ray Phoenix.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's that too. I mean, the fact that Ray Phoenix isn't just off on his own as a single
Right. I mean,
is
he's
just,
had he's had two outstanding matches against his brothers. He's had two outstanding matches against Kenny Omega.
and that one
He had
against Nick Jackson.
the one with Nick Jackson, and then the one with Murder Rock Monster like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a good one too.
You know, so
But
he's been lighting it up every time he's in the singles match, and yet he keeps getting relegated back to being a tag team wrestler.
which makes absolutely no sense.
Correct.
But yeah, I think they've got some work to do. They definitely have some work to do because they're kind of falling down that whole WWE um, road. And it's nice that they have the money backing him. I mean, the Khan family has got plenty of it, so it's not like they're going to end up like a TNA type thing where they're just bankrupt.
No, and I mean, I understand it's good that they're an alternative, and it's good that there's another thing on television. I just wish they were the perfect organization that I want them to be. You
Yeah, that's just it. We just want that perfect organization, that flawless, perfect organization that we can watch. I like,
but but I really think there's an opportunity to do that. It's just that they need to stop, like you said, they need to stop doing the stop start, and they need to stop. You know, the big thing is they need to stop putting up their plans aside when a WWE guy becomes available for them to do something with.
right,
You know,
that, and they have to stop making, they need to make their pay-per-view special. It's because of the quality of their weekly shows as far as wrestling matches go, and the fact they give away free title opportunities on free TV and stuff like that. It leaves a lot to be desired to shell out that kind of money for a pay-per-view.
that is very true, and and that's I think is part of like why I'm looking at this card going, why would I pay $50 for this? Because and it's not just because of their weekly quality, but it's also looking at this like, okay, so some of their biggest matches on here are. I mean, do I need to see a tag match between Miro and Kip Sabian against Orange Cassidy and Charles?
Right.
Do I need to see a tag team match between Sting and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks? I mean, that to me is a match that should be on Dynamite, not on a pay-per-view.
Well, and especially when they gave us that incredible Best Friends versus PNP match, the street fight on free TV.
Right. Um, and then Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Rebel. I know it's only on the pre-show, but to me, again, that feels like
A weekly
a
show.
match that should be on a Dynamite
All
show.
right. So I mean,
You know,
and I said that after the last pay-per-view was at Full Gear, that it just felt to me like a Dynamite that was really expensive.
right? No, I know you said that, and what I'm saying though is that this one to me feels more like that than any of their other shows so far. I mean, they could have had this be. I mean, if they had done like Omega versus Moxley in a splitting barbed wire death match, okay, that definitely is a pay-per-view match,
Right, exactly.
no question. And Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF, I guess, is a tag team, is a pay-per-view match, even though it's not something that I'm personally invested in. Um, but the rest of this card really feels like something that could be on a Dynamite.
Especially with the quality of their Dynamites. That's just it. It's like, and like the last one, they had backstage promos. They had, it was just it. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I will give them credit that they do put on high quality shows every week, and the in-ring performances every single week are absolutely phenomenal.
But at the same time, we're also saying that NXT's been better.
NXT has been better storyline wise. I will definitely say that. As far as in-ring stuff, I
Sorry,
don't know
my
if
puppy keeps pulling my headset out.
as far as the in-ring stuff, I don't know if it's been better.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it depends on the week, I guess.
Right. But their storylines are just NXT storylines are just on fire right now.
Anyway, okay. I guess
And
I'm kind of done complaining about AEW. So
and Champa with
week.
hair again is still kind of surreal to see. I still have to do a double take every time I see him on screen now with his hair growing back.
Oh yeah, that's a good point you brought up about Ciampa, and that kind of leads to Timothy Thatcher. I'm interested to see what this whole thing is with Thatcher and Imperium.
Oh yeah, yeah, I definitely kind of want to see what's going on there too.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like that was a good match this last week too. Four people that just love to fight.
yeah, yeah. That was a lot of fun. And then just Imperium comes out of nowhere to cost Thatcher and Ciampa that match. So,
Right.
but I was also thinking about like watching, and I'm like, how have they kind of pulled the wool over our eyes here with Tommaso Ciampa, where at one point it was all he was all about the AEW World Championship, and now he feels like he's 5 steps away from it.
Yeah,
You know,
I did notice that too. It's like he just all of a sudden, he was always that guy. Like ever since he came back and had that phenomenal year, he just always seemed like he should be in that championship mix. And I don't know what happened, but he just fell down the card.
Yeah, I mean, his when he came back the most recent time, it was that he wanted to make the locker room show more respect or something like that. And he had nothing. It had nothing to do with Goldie anymore.
Yeah, and he just doesn't feel right without Goldie.
No, and I think they're doing a good job, I guess, distracting us from that. But it is something that crossed my mind watching that tag match this week.
Because I'm trying to think, the last time he was really after Goldie was that promo because he got stripped of it, and then Cole had it, and he came back and just walked to the ring and said, "Goldie, Daddy's home." And then he had that match against Cole, and then you're right, he just never touched another opportunity again,
Yeah, it's been like a year and a half now, something like that.
which just feels wrong.
It definitely feels off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for this week?
I have nothing, man. Guys, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. Um, Putting archives and specials and stuff up there whenever I can. Also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, go ahead, hit the like button, ring the notification bell after you hit the subscribe button so that you can take advantage of all of our products and fun and stuff.
We'll probably have some New Japan Cup and more EW to talk about next week and NXT. So until then, that's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Goodbye.